What is up, guys? Welcome back to the KC Sports Memes podcast. I'm Megatron. It's good to be back. I'm here with Marvin, Drew, and Tony. How you guys doing?
Much better now that you're here.
Doing good.
Thank you. I don't know if I like that. We got a really good show lined up for you guys. About to go into the Super Bowl. We'll look back at the playoff games that were played last week in the NFL. Then we'll talk about some of our favorite moments from this past season. And then we'll rank some of the top players and a few of the different positions in the NFL. But real quick, before we get into things, I'd like to take a minute to talk about a company that reached out to us. They gave us a code to give to you guys to get 15% off your purchase. That company is Phoenix. They have workout gear, apparel, different supplements. I actually used some of their supplements just a little bit ago. But that code is FNXKCSM. Go to their site, check them out. Really great company, really great group of guys there. Highly recommend them. All right, jumping in to the show. What a week with an upset there. We'll go ahead and talk about that game first. Bucs versus Packers. We hate to see it, Packers losing that game. Really tough on Rodgers having an MVP season and not being able to get it done. From what I saw watching the game, and I know Tony will disagree. I know there's going to be some people that disagree. I think Packers really played themselves in a lot of ways. I'm not trying to discredit what the Bucs did. I think, they won the game, obviously. But with having 3 interceptions from Brady and not being able to execute on any of those to score, to come back in that game, it's just really, really rough for the Packers. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Tony, you want to just, get it out of
Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, again, I just want to say, I don't know how long it's been. We've gone throughout the season with this podcast. Who's been saying that Tom Brady is good, and where is he going? He's going to the game that matters the most. It's not week 3. It's not week 8. It's not even the wild card game. It's the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, like I said, is good in the playoffs. He's 3-0, and he's 3-0 on the road. He's beaten the 1st seed, the 2nd seed, and the 4th seed all the way. And he's thrown, I believe, 7 or 8 touchdowns, passes in the playoffs with 3 interceptions. Those 3 interceptions coming off the Packer win by 5. Let me say this: Brady did not play good at all in the second half of this game. First half he played pretty good. I think having that touchdown to go into the half to make it 21-10, I believe. Yeah, 21-10. But here's the thing: it was a good game, close game. The thing about the Packers is they did not execute on offense. Aaron Rodgers had twice. That's 2 times. The MVP had twice to score, and he did not. They had to punt twice after those interceptions, and so they didn't execute. The defense stepped up. I believe the defense had 5 sacks on Rodgers. Mm-hmm. I believe it was 5. 3 by Barrett. And then the Packers only had, I believe, 1 on Brady. And yes, I think we were talking about it before the show. I do think Brady, has been said this year, he hasn't been making some throws. That's obvious. Yes, there are some throws that he didn't make. Yes, when he's rushed, he makes some bad throws. But here's the thing: he still wins the game. He still goes out and throws 3 touchdown passes, 280 yards, and still gets the win. And he has 33 playoff wins. And so he's in his 10th Super Bowl. He's going to be playing against the future GOAT. And so, man, I don't think we could have asked for a better Super Bowl than this one right here.
I don't know. Mahomes versus Rodgers have been pretty dope. Just saying. Super Bowl.
I'm saying this: the GOAT versus the future GOAT.
Yeah, it's all right. Only like Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, like football.
Yeah, it's only that.
I suppose it's pretty cool. Except in this universe, LeBron's going to win, which, is Mahomes. Wait, no. I don't want to compare LeBron to Mahomes because LeBron loses. I take that back. Jordan and Mahomes are the same because they never lose. And Brady and LeBron are losers, like Tony. Had to fix that. Not trying to hurt your feelings, Tony. I'm just trying to make you regret your life choices.
Yeah, I mean, Chiefs already did win against them in the regular season. But I mean, it's playoffs, so that's going to change things completely for both teams, really.
Yeah, this was a disappointing game for the Packers, The supposed MVP Aaron Rodgers comes out here and doesn't do much of anything in the first half on offense. I mean, it was bad. He let the Bucs get a big lead, and at that point, you were thinking this game was going to be a blowout. They were able to climb back in. It was a 5-point game. But the reason why they lost is because, as Tony said, after 2 interceptions in back-to-back drives, they put up 0 points, 2 3-and-outs. And in those drives, you could see in Aaron Rodgers' eyes, he looked a little scared to me. I mean, he looked a little flustered. To me, it looked like you could tell he was like, what is it going to mean for my legacy to finally get a game at home for the conference championship and lose it? You could just see it. He did not play good, and very, very disappointing from Aaron Rodgers to lose to Tom Brady, who did throw up 3 interceptions. And yeah, I mean, that's very winnable. Anytime a quarterback can throw 3 interceptions, you should be able to capitalize on that, and they couldn't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, because what a game for Packers defense, really. Getting that, like we talked about, getting that pressure on Brady, and then getting some of those interceptions that I would say at least one of them wasn't really on Brady. When the defender just took it out of the receiver's hands, basically. But still, Rodgers just not executing. I think I don't want to put that completely on the Packers. I think a big part of it is on the Packers because I think no matter what the defense is, you should at least be able to do something, with like I said, getting 3 interceptions. But, that Bucs defense did have, like, I think they handled Adams really well. Adams did have a few breakout plays, but still, they covered really well.
Yeah, that defense has won them a lot of games in this run that they've had. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Tom Brady. He's in his 10th, but the defense has been winning them games, and especially in this one. If you can shut down the MVP, Aaron Rodgers, who's putting up 40 a night, that's pretty impressive. Their defensive backs, even with both of their safeties out, were just smothering the receivers, and they were getting great pressure with Levante David, JPP, and the rest of those cast.
Yeah.
My takeaways from this game was I think it does tarnish Rodgers' legacy a little bit. The Packers went 13-3, correct? I think they did. The Packers, they looked like they were supposed to go to the Super Bowl this year. We were supposed to get that Super Bowl 1 rematch, despite what Tony says. The Packers, they looked really good against the Rams. They looked really good all season, but I don't know. The Buccaneers had their number in both games. I don't know what it was. But this game does affect Rodgers' legacy, in my opinion, because he is now 1-4 in conference championship games. He's only beat Chicago. He lost to Seattle, Atlanta, and San Francisco, and now Tampa Bay.
To Caleb Haney, I think the quarterback was. I saw that stat today against the Bears. Caleb Haney.
Wasn't that? I think it was Jay Cutler.
I think it was Caleb Haney. That's what I saw.
No, it was Jay Cutler. Google it, Tony. Anyway, as I was saying, it affects Rodgers' legacy. I don't think he's going to finish his career in Green Bay. Not based off this game, just in general.
Patriots.
But I do think that this game is starting to put the wheels in motion that Rodgers' time in Green Bay is running out. I expect him back next season, but...
Because they did draft a quarterback in the last draft, right? So,
yeah.
A lot of people in the media are starting to think that he has a shot to opt out of his contract this year, especially with him talking about Matt LaFleur on that fourth quarter decision not to try to punch it in for the touchdown and up settling for the field goal, never getting the ball back. What do you guys think of that decision?
I think it was dumb.
Should have went for it.
Yeah, because no matter what happens, that's that's a momentum changer, because either you get it and you have the momentum now, you look like you're on a comeback, or you don't get it, but you showed that you were gutsy enough to at least try to go for it. And I think that still has at least more power to it, even if you don't get it, than just going for the field goal and, like I said, not getting the ball back.
And Rodgers is known for making, like those game-winning drives. Like, that wasn't going to be one, but like it could have at least got the wheels turning.
Yeah.
And Rodgers said today on the Pat McAfee show that he's not leaving. From what I gathered, he's not leaving.
Yeah. No, I don't really see it.
As of right now. Yeah, as of right now, he's not leaving.
Yeah, because he's a good fit at Green Bay. I mean, that's where he's been so long, and he's won them games, but just not, enough to like I said, have a good enough legacy, I guess.
Yeah, he should have won at least a couple of those conference championship games, and this should have been one of them. No, not going to take anything away from Tom Brady except those 3 interceptions, but Rodgers should have beat Brady in this game. Like, they should have improved from their mistakes from their last matchup, but I really don't know what went wrong in this game. Tony, it says Jay Cutler, doesn't it?
I haven't looked it up. I actually think it was.
You're afraid to look because I'm right.
Yeah, I did see I saw a post that said, or someone was saying that it shows the greatness of a player, greatness of somebody when no matter what happens, they find a way to win the game, they find a way to overcome it and, win. I think you saw that somewhat with Tom Brady. I still wasn't impressed with, even after throwing, the 3 interceptions. I didn't think he really did a whole lot to come back from that and redeem himself. I mean, obviously, like I said, they won the game. I'm not taking away from that, but just after doing that, I didn't really see much from him. But compared to Rodgers, where you didn't get it done on the first drive with the interception, you didn't get it done on the second drive with the interception, and then wasn't it the third drive after the interception? That's when they got the field goal, right? I think it was. And so, I mean, it showed to me that maybe it's not just completely on Rodgers, but I think it showed to me that the Packers just couldn't, I think, kind of use them or learn from their mistakes and improve from those last 2 drives that they could have went down and scored.
Last week, you can go ahead. I was going to say that last week when I was watching the Pat McAfee show, Rodgers was talking about when the Saints and Bucs played in the regular season and how the Bucs needed to learn from their mistakes after their 38-3 blowout. When he was saying that, I was thinking, so you guys going to do the same thing when you play? Apparently not.
Yeah.
You should have learned from your mistake. I don't know. They just didn't play really good in that game. I don't know what the problem was.
Disappointing. Yeah, I would say that this definitely does diminish from his legacy. He's considered one of the best passers of all time, and you could always use the excuse that he never had a home conference championship game. Well, now he did against a 43-year-old quarterback, and he lost. It was his MVP season, and he lost. There's no erasing that.
Yeah, I would still consider him one of the best passers of all time, but he doesn't really have the wins to be, one of the greatest quarterbacks or one of, which even, like I've said before, I can't remember if I said on the show, but that's what is difficult for me with judging a quarterback or judging a player just off of Super Bowls alone, is because sometimes it's not always, completely on them. Sometimes defenses lose them games or whatever. I think in this one, it was more on him because, he didn't lead the team down there to win. But I think that's what's tough for me is judging it just off of Super Bowls, because sometimes it's not always on that player. Like I said, still one of the best passes of all time. Great game by the Bucs. Really looking forward to the Super Bowl. Bucs winning that 31-26. Let's go ahead and talk about that Chiefs-Bills game. Probably, in my opinion, one of the best games for the Chiefs all season. This was a game where, compared to, the Falcons game, where I was kind of worried, like I think Marvin said on the show, like, oh man, like we might lose this. I was just sitting back and just enjoying the show, like just watching our team, win. And I don't think there was ever a point where I was like that worried about it. Besides maybe when, what was it, like beginning of fourth quarter, maybe in third quarter, I was seeing on social media, oh, Brady Mahomes Super Bowl, and then they started showing it on the on the broadcast, and I was like, you're gonna jinx the team. And that's when like Bill started like showing some hope of comeback, but obviously not making the full turnaround. So what are you guys' thoughts on this one?
The only time I was worried was the first quarter when it was down 9-0 Bills. But once the Chiefs got rolling, I knew we were going to roll all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to point out I have picked the Chiefs to win by double digits in back-to-back weeks. Against the Browns, they were up by double digits until Mahomes went out, and this week they won by 17. I would like to point that out. But now the Chiefs dominated this game. Josh Allen was missing passes, and Mahomes to Kelsey is unstoppable. Mahomes to Hill is unstoppable. And after Hardman's fumble, he had that 51-yard run with Fisher and Wiley getting out in front. There was no stopping the Chiefs. Once they scored that first touchdown, you knew the game was over.
Yeah, no, that was huge for Hardman. Not only just for Hardman to do that himself, but also, that was a design play. That was Reed saying, hey, no, like get back out there. Like it's going to you. You're going to make this run. And just the trust that Reed had in Hardman, and the team as a whole, that was really cool to see. I really enjoyed that.
I gotta agree with what Marvin said. I think the only time that there was an ounce of maybe worry of a Chiefs loss was probably, or I shouldn't say worry, but just the Chiefs might lose this game as first quarter. I think when it was 9-0, was I think a field goal and then a touchdown, and so. But after that, like I think it was Drew, or maybe Megatron. I think it was Drew who said it. First touchdown, Chiefs. I think second touchdown. I think that was game. And the Bills could have came back. I think let's see, was it fourth quarter? I think it was. They were down. They lost by 14 points, but still, great game by Kansas City. My man Tom Brady's going to have a tough time against that offense.
Oh, poor Tony. Poor Tony. But seriously though, can we all agree that was probably the best offensively and defensively game all season?
Yeah.
I think they looked better than they did when they played the Ravens in Baltimore. They were playing lights out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even when it was 9-0, like we've been in that position before last year in playoffs. So I knew once we started scoring at least once, and I was like, okay, yeah. Like I even said that when what Marvin, I think you put in the group chat or something, you asked, what our thoughts were at halftime. And I was like, I think we're going to take off and just win it. And that's what you saw. And it's rough seeing some of these AFC teams. We're talking about, it's cool to see the Browns in the playoffs, and doing good. Josh Allen really redeeming himself from last year's playoffs. Really, really looking like a playoff quarterback, in my opinion. Yeah, like I said, he didn't play that great this game, but all season playing great through the playoffs. But it's really tough to see teams like that have to go against the Chiefs, playing in the AFC, and right now not having that playoff success ultimately, not getting to go to the Super Bowl because of how good the Chiefs are. Yeah.
I'm not complaining though. I like being on this side of the ball for a change.
I just want to though, the Bills at 13-3 in the better conference of football were the second best team in the NFL, and the Chiefs rolled over them. Right, it wasn't close, and everyone was complaining, "Oh, the Chiefs don't blow out teams. They hadn't beat a team by more than 7 points in 7-8 weeks in the regular season." But if you notice, like in that Tampa Bay game, they were up by 17 points, and they coasted the rest of the game and still won. Andy Reid is not going to let a coast happen in the playoffs, and that's what happened. We saw those big leads evaporate in the season because we let our foot off the gas. That isn't happening in the playoffs, and that's showing what team won 14 games and would have won 15 if we wouldn't have rested our starters in week 16 or 17.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, they just turn it on. They could turn it on and off. Like no other team can do that. It's I'm still not used to it. Let's put it that way.
Reid and Belichick are the only coaches I've ever seen be able to do that.
Yeah, it's insane. Like we should have lost. Technically, we should have lost that Browns game. If you really think about it. But somehow they kept it on. Oh wait, I don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, you look at even that Browns game with Chad Henne coming in and stuff. I didn't get to be on the podcast last week, but I listened to it, and I think even if he would have started this game, I think we would have had really good chances because, well, one, the last game of the season he didn't have Hill. What did Kelsey even play the last game of the season? I don't think so. So he didn't have those offensive weapons, and so I think there's that. And then plus you saw how much he was willing to win in that Browns game. Putting his body on the line for the team, and then even his fourth one throw. I think even that shows that even the backups are willing to do whatever it takes to win. And that's what I see from this Chiefs team, especially in the playoffs, especially this game, that, like you said, they can turn it off and on, and right now it's on. And that's why I'm really confident going into the Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, I know it's Brady, it's the Bucs, but still, already having a win this season, it's any given Sunday. So if we lose in the Super Bowl, then, but at the same time, I really don't see it. I know we'll talk about that more let's talk about that more next week. But Chiefs really do turn it on in the playoffs. It's insane.
Yeah, that's my point. My point though is like normal teams when they send in the backups, like even in mid game, they turn it off. Like usually you don't win. Like at least not all the time. Even with, like you're saying, even the backs want to win. They put in Chad last week, and they still had it on. They still had the switch on. Chiefs still won. A game that we should have technically lost after Mahomes went out. So
I just want to say,
insane to see it.
Sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I just want to give my opinion on the Chiefs. To be honest, I don't know if it's because of the playoffs I honestly think the Chiefs are the same team throughout the whole season. Just to be honest, I don't know if I see the same team. And I mean that as a compliment. I don't see a different team. I just see the same team, and it's a good team, a really good team. And this is a team that should scare Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. This is not a team. This is not the Packers. This is not the Redskins. This isn't the New Orleans Saints. This is the Kansas City Chiefs, and they need to watch out for this. I honestly, when watching the Chiefs and looking at the Chiefs, I honestly, I'll be honest, I can't see them losing this game. And yes, I said that. I'm rooting for Tom Brady, but I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to lose this game. I mean, just looking how they played Sunday. I mean, this team is always good. Yeah, they have their moments. Raiders game, they probably should have lost the Falcon game, but still, they always find this. There's always something that they can find to win, and they do so. And I don't know. I think Brady goes 6-4.
Yeah,
like I
said,
so
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't say that. I'm going to pretend like I didn't say that because if he wins,
I have it on tape.
If he wins,
I have it on tape.
No, let me say this. I'm going to be happy if Tom Brady wins. And I'm gonna say who was right all season. But I'm gonna say this. I do see the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just saying I'm not rooting for Kansas City. I'm going for Tom Brady. But I mean, just looking at it, I think Kansas City wins this. But Tom Brady wins. Yeah,
we're kicking you off the podcast, right? So you better hope that Chiefs win.
Whatever.
Also, another big part of the game was that fight towards the end.
Which one?
True. The one where Josh Allen got hit, a little bit late, but I mean, he was still making the tackle like as the whistles were blowing. And then Allen didn't like it, so he threw the football, his helmet, and then another guy came in and shoved him down, and then another guy came in and was going to shove him down again. Yeah, no, that was crazy. I didn't expect that really from the Bills, when you're losing, but
Well,
At least Josh Allen. Like, I was
yeah,
like, coming from you? What? I was not expecting that.
they were pushing and shoving the very first play of the game, and then Chris Jones threw a punch and didn't get thrown out.
that was very
I'm
true.
not gonna say I didn't expect it. Like that first play, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a long game. I mean, you can kind of see it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true. I guess one of the more unexpected parts was that like it took that long, and that you like picked the very, very end of the game, like when you're gonna lose, to like start fighting. Yeah, no, I did notice that it was a pretty like back and forth shoving like all game, but yeah, the end is where it really broke out the most. And then offsetting penalties, even though it was 3-1 on penalties, but
Love that rule.
yeah,
What I thought was crazy about this game is that Josh Allen, even though he had Stephon Diggs, it felt like he never had any receivers open. Like the coverage, most plays, there was nobody open downfield. And Josh Allen just had to try to extend plays. I mean, the secondary for the Chiefs is really good. I think this defense is the most underrated defense in the league. And like that Browns win, they let up 17 points, right? They won against a great offense because of their defense. Out. And I think that they are just a very good unit and don't need to be overlooked.
I'll be honest. I have not been impressed with our defense this year, but this game, they turned that around. Our defense, they were good. Obviously,
They won us the Falcons game, won us the Browns game, and now helped us in this game. So I mean, they're playing some pretty good football right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I think the reason why they're underrated is because they haven't been that great in the games throughout the season. But I mean, that's what we've kind of seen from the team. And I think kind of like I think I said before, it's easy to do that when you're a winning team and you always win. Then it's easy to pick apart and be like, well, the defense should have played better in this game, even though we still won. And so I think like Marvin was saying, I think this was definitely the best offensive and defensive game. The defense, like I said, just like staying right there on him. Just coverage was insane. And even if they did get a catch, even if Diggs did get a catch, then he was tackled like immediately. And so, yeah, now I'm really looking forward to Super Bowl.
Yeah, one big thing, though, is Eric Fisher. He's going to be out for the Super Bowl. Schwartz probably won't return. That's our two starting tackles against a very good pass rush.
Yeah, no, that's true. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, we'll talk more about Super Bowl next week as we get ready for it. So yeah, Chiefs win that one 38-24. Really big win there. So Chiefs, Bucks going to the Super Bowl.
It looked 29 minutes, just like I predicted. You said 30. That was right.
On the dot.
Well, I think we're still talking about this.
Oh, yeah.
Move on.
Well, I was going to move on. All right. So, yeah, moving on from that, going into our favorite moments of the season. Looking back to this past season, what were some of the moments that stood out to you guys that you guys can pick any team, any player, playoffs, regular season? Tony wants to go first.
I got one that I'm going to remember.
Okay, my turn.
No. Interception. Russell Wilson throws it. He's in the red zone. Intercepted. DK Metcalf puts on the Jets. and he flies down the field and saves a pick six. That is one of the best plays. That should be the top 5 plays of this season.
Top
Man,
defense.
I can't. Top defensive play, yeah. What a beautiful play, man! Full effort, and that was a great play.
Yeah,
Can't remember what week that was.
It was
probably 1 through 16, probably.
probably. I think it's like 13 or 14. It was
Are
cool
you
seeing Tyreek doing a similar play. I can't remember who that was against, but still Metcalf like running the full length of the field, not giving up on that play, like determined. No, that was insane.
My favorite moment was when the Browns made the playoffs, when Baker Mayfield made that first down. That was a really, really good play. Also made me happy because, Steelers, lost.
Browns beating your favorite team.
I think this was a good year for the Browns. I mean, I remember talking with, talking about a couple years ago, these Browns, they're not going to the Super Bowl. They're trash. They're terrible. And they come out, what did they come out? 12-4, 11-5? 11-5. And so it was a good year for the Browns. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm excited to see what they do next. I said tough with the Chiefs and the AFC, but I think they'll have some success soon, like some pretty big success. I don't know about Super Bowl, like I said with the Chiefs, that's still in there, but I'm excited. What about you, Drew?
They finally got their quarterback, though.
Yeah, no, that's true.
My favorite moment was getting to see Alex Smith suit up again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big moment for him, He almost lost his leg, almost didn't even live with the infections he had. And he got to suit up and play some more football, the game he loves. It was a beautiful moment. And, I mean, he's a very tough guy for that. Just very impressive stuff.
And lead the team to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Going back, it was insane.
I mean, they were basically only winning games when he was on the field, right? The games that they lost were when he was out. He played pretty well.
If he would have played that wild card game, I'm betting he would have won over Tom Brady.
I don't know.
It would have at least been closer.
I was going to bring up Heineke too.
See, I don't know. Yeah, that's my honorable mention. One that I want to put as my number one. But Heineke coming in there and almost beating the Bucs. The plays that he made, I don't think Alex Smith could have made. Now, obviously, they're going to play the game completely different. Receivers are going to play completely different. But Heineke, like avoiding the sack, ducking around it, making the runs that he needed to. That was really cool to watch. But my favorite was, even though he didn't get the win, Justin Herbert coming in against the Chiefs. That was an insane game to watch. Put him up there for possible rookie of the year. And you know what? He found out 5 minutes before the game he was even going to play, and he goes out there and almost beats this Super Bowl champion Chiefs team. With the run, with the throwing and everything. And I think he really proved himself early on as a quarterback. I know we talked about a few times about ones like Tua or even like Mayfield that really had to prove themselves as quarterbacks once they were, on that team. Like with Tua, I think it's going to take him a few years in the NFL to get used to it. I think it took Mayfield a few years to get used to it. Now he's finally good. But you didn't see that with Herbert. You saw a guy that, I said, finds out he's playing 5 minutes before the game and goes out there and just dominates. And he dominated all season. Even though, they had a terrible record, he really led that team.
I agree. I like him as offense or rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be good next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
New coach.
One more moment, though. How about that DeAndre Hopkins Hail Mary catch against the Bills, Week 10?
That was insane. Because I think I said it on that podcast. Like, what a what a game-winning drive for Murray, and then and then them just like coming back. Oh, that was insane. Yeah, no, that one is definitely up there.
Well, if he gets another one, I do too. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. Anyway, the Saints beating the Buccaneers 38-3. Come on, that would be sweet. Come on, right, Tony? Come on. That had to be your favorite game of the season.
Favorite game, best game all
Saints
season.
beating the Bucks 38-3.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was just one game. Who's in the Super Bowl right now? That's all.
Chiefs, yeah.
Talking about the NFC here. Who beat him in the more important game?
Anyways, so yeah, no, this season was really good, especially
a lot better with the pandemic going on. Would you agree?
I don't know if it
said
really
a lot
changed.
better.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, I should probably word this differently. Like, heading into the season, we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even know we were going to get the entire season, and somehow during the whole season, we got the whole season, and the games did a lot better than we were expecting.
I agree with that.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that was nice.
Games were good this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, having the pandemic, right after the Super Bowl, really, that's when everything started shutting down, and then. Yeah, not knowing, like you said, if we're going to have a full season or if, there's going to be fans allowed, and then having, fans being able to be at some stadiums at least. Really great season. And a lot of injuries too, which hurt a lot of teams. I mean, you had ones like McCaffrey going out, Barkley, Beckham Jr., like all of the 49ers team, you had a lot of injuries, and it was cool to see teams that were able to work through those injuries still and still play good. I mean, I would have brought up Alex Smith being able to come back and play and take his team to the playoffs, even though, they really shouldn't have been there since losing record and all, but yeah, fantastic season.
Yeah, and talk about injuries. I think Dak Prescott could have led the Cowboys to that division title. He obviously got hurt, and then Joe Burrow was on pace to set all the rookie records. He got hurt. Very disappointing. Happens every year.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Interested to see too. I mean, this was a season with Tua taking over for Fitzmagic. We're kind of upset about that since it was all of a sudden when Fitzpatrick was winning games. But interested to see how that goes for some of these teams. And then I don't have it in my notes. I was just thinking about it, so I don't know all the players. But you have ones that this was their last season, and it's crazy to think about. For sure, Phillip Rivers. A lot of people have been saying Breeze. I haven't seen anything officially come out from Drew Brees yet. But I mean, likely. And then even if it's not their last season, you got guys that are getting older where we could be seeing that soon. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald, Frank Gore, ones like that. It's just crazy, growing up watching the NFL, seeing these guys. I mean, even Tom Brady, 43 years old, probably going to retire pretty soon. Even though I think he could still play for longer, but I mean, you got these guys, like I said, that you're watching as you're growing up, becoming fans of the NFL for some guys, but yeah, last seasons.
Yeah, that's the thing to talk about Brady. If Brady wins, does he retire?
What's his contract set up there?
He's got one more season.
All of his
After
he could play. Honestly, I'm sure he could play for another 2 to 3 years and still at least do average. I mean, he's still good to make it to the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl at 43. And so, he could play for at least 2 years,
I think
2 more years after.
I think he'll probably play. I think he'll probably finish out his contract and be done. I mean, because it gets to a certain point where, you've played for a while, and you could still play, but you're just kind of done, I guess. Because I could see that being the reason why Fitzgerald stops playing, because he's still playing really good, but.
I guess Brady's motive is just to keep on winning Super Bowls.
Well, that was my thought with Philip Rivers. I thought he was going to play at least one more season, but he just called it quits.
Mm-hmm. Brady said he wanted to go till 45. That would give him 2 more seasons. So I guess we'll see.
I heard 47.
I heard 63.
You wish. I wish.
He's gonna make a good coach someday. He's basically running that offense in Tampa right now. He's gonna make a really good coach someday.
You think?
Not according to Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians has been.
I'm not a big fan of Bruce Arians.
They got a good relationship.
No biscuit. What?
They got a pretty good relationship going right now.
Yeah,
they're winning.
That's fair. It's very fair. All right, so moving on from that, let's go and look at some of the top players that we have at different positions. For my picks, I don't know about you guys, but I did over this past season mainly. So first up, quarterback. Marvin, why don't you start us off? What's your top 5?
Yep. All right. So my top 5 for the season: Patrick Mahomes, obviously; Josh Allen; Baker Mayfield. He really surprised me this year. I already said that. Philip Rivers and Aaron Rodgers. I thought Rivers really rebounded this year. Made himself look good on his last year's plan, and Allen redeemed himself as well, and Mayfield. I guess everybody really redeemed themselves this year except Mahomes and Rodgers. They're always good. That's my pick for the year.
Did you just say Rivers?
I know.
Hey, do you have Rivers above Rodgers?
I didn't list them in order. I didn't list them. If you want actual order, I'll say Mahomes, Rodgers, Allen, Mayfield, and Rivers. Rivers is dead last either way. I can't put Jackson. I think you want me to put Lamar Jackson, don't you?
Mm.
You want to put someone else that's not Philip Rivers. I can't put Lamar there because he's a running back. Okay. I can't put Deshaun Watson there because he lost every game.
You know who to put.
I can't put Tom Brady there because he should have retired 5 years ago. I put Philip Rivers there.
No.
Sorry. I put him there. Even I was questioning it. I was like, this doesn't seem right.
I don't know if Rivers is top 15.
I don't think I've ever seen you so offended, Drew. You're
what? Breeze still had a better season. We saw what he did against.
I was going to put Breeze, but that rib injury messed him up the rest of the year. That's why I didn't put him there.
I say this year Rivers did play a little bit better than Breeze, just because of the injury, I guess.
I don't know about that, but
if Breeze never got injured, I would put Breeze over Rivers any day.
Yeah,
Breeze wasn't the same after the injury, which is why I put Rivers there. And putting Jackson there would make more sense, but he's a running back, so I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't think he had a good enough season overall. I think he heated up when he needed to, and he can throw, but it's just not as much as a quarterback usually does. And so, yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Drew?
Let me get in my list. I got 2 guys that you didn't name, okay? First off, at 5, I've got Russell Wilson. Rivers did not have a better season than Russell Wilson. That dude was in the MVP conversations all season, okay? No. Number 4, I still got Deshaun Watson. I think that was mostly the team that hurt him. He's still a very good quarterback. Obviously, that's why the Dolphins are willing to give up 2 and a few firsts, including the number 3 overall pick for him. He's still top 5. Number 3, Josh Allen. 2, Rodgers. 1, Mahomes. I think that's pretty well recognized. But so let me get this straight. You had Rivers over Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Ryan Tannehill, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Matt Stafford.
I forgot all about Russell Wilson, so I should have Googled playing this year, I guess.
See, Russell Wilson was a tough one for me because of how much he fell off a little bit. Was it midseason? Around midseason, he was MVP talk. I know me and Tony talked about that quite a bit, saying that he was our pick for MVP when we did that like earlier on in the season. I think I could still put him at 5. I mean, I was gonna turn it over to Tony, but I guess I'll go ahead and give my list. It's the exact same thing as Drew's. So yeah, that was easy. Yeah, no, I think Watson was definitely up there, even though Houston couldn't really get anything done. And then I think the top 3 there, Mahomes, Rodgers, Allen, is pretty obvious. But Tony, what do you have?
Well,
Brady.
Yeah, no. I will say this. All right, I chose Aaron Rodgers over Mahomes just because of statistics wise. Now, Mahomes is the better quarterback, obviously. We're just saying like this year, just kind of having a great season, almost 50 touchdowns, only 5 picks, being the number 1 team in the NFC. Yeah, you can't win in the playoffs. But I got Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, number 3, Josh Allen. Yes, my man, number 4, Tom Brady. And number 5, I'm going to go Justin Herbert. I'm going to put him in number 5. I like him. Just taking a team, again, like you stated, against Kansas City Chiefs, 5 minutes before going in, he found out. And so just rookie of the year, and there's my top 5.
I thought about Herbert. I still don't think he's up there with some of these guys that are as elite as, like Mahomes and Rodgers. I also respect putting him up there because of how impressive of a season he had, though.
Yeah, Herbert, that's another guy better than Rivers.
I was going to say, though, Tony, did you really put Tom Brady over Philip Rivers? That's disrespectful. I mean, come on. Rivers is the GOAT.
In the Super Bowl right now. And who went
That's
home?
beside the point. All right.
Who went home?
You were saying, Drew? I mean,
I was just going to say, I can respect putting Rodgers 1, but to me, Mahomes went 14-1. Rodgers went 13-3. Even when you're talking about MVP, I mean, Mahomes was the most valuable player for the best team. So I think Mahomes was the best player, but I respect Rodgers at 1. Obviously, he had a fantastic season, one of the best of his career.
Yeah, I think one of the things that hurts Mahomes, I know I've said it before for the MVP talk, is the weapons that he has compared to the weapons that Rodgers has. Rodgers doesn't have Kelsey, Hill, Watkins, Hardman. He doesn't have all of that. And so I think that's why I like him as the choice for MVP. And then, like you said, Tony, statistic-wise, he was better this year. But, yeah, I think just overall, even this season, I think he's just the better quarterback and still the face of the NFL. Not Josh Allen.
yeah.
Josh Allen would have taken it over even if he would have won. But hey.
It's such a stupid conversation.
Yeah. Then moving on to running backs. Top 5 running backs. Tony, why don't you start off this one?
All right. Well, let's just give it a go here. Number 1's Derrick Henry, 2,000 yards plus. I'll give it to him. Now, the only thing, the big games, it doesn't show up for big games. Number 2 is Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook's number 2. I liked him at number 2. Seemed like he was consistent. Number 3, I go Aaron Jones, Green Bay. Number 4, Jonathan Taylor, Indianapolis. Number 5, I'll go Nick Chubb with Cleveland, 12 touchdowns on the season.
Did you not name Kamara?
No.
What?
All right. So we're voting him off the podcast, correct?
See ya.
Kamara? What?
Here, okay. I am bringing up his stats right now. 932 yards, Guess he did have 16 touchdowns. He did have a lot of receiving. Actually, I'm going to change that. We're gonna put put him instead of Jonathan Taylor.
Because he's a versatile running back. With his he's a good running back, but he also has the receiving
That's true.
side of things.
I guess he had 16 touchdowns. That's all.
And then that
That's-
one
I didn't
game,
even think
he had 5 touchdowns, right? Almost 6.
No, I think he did have 6.
He's so much better.
He had
So much
6. Yeah, no. Dude's insane. Drew, what do you have?
Yeah, I debated not putting Kamara in, to be honest. He didn't have a ton of yards. I did put him in, but I had to knock someone out. So my honorable mention is James Robinson from Jacksonville, because he had a fantastic rookie season, and he wasn't even talked about coming in. I believe he was undrafted, and this man put up all the stats. He was the one bright spot of that Jaguars team. But then at number 5, I got Aaron Jones of the Packers. Very good season. Number 4, Alvin Kamara. Number 3, Nick Chubb. He missed a bunch of time and still put up all the stats, just showing how dominant he was. I mean, that's a great running back. And then I think 2 and 1 are pretty obvious. Dalvin Cook at 2, and then Derrick Henry was the best running back this year with multiple 200-yard games. How many more yards did he have than Dalvin Cook?
I
Was it
don't
5 or
know.
600?
I'm not doing math. But yeah, 4 or 500.
Yeah.
But still, yeah.
5 yards, yeah.
Marvin.
It's my turn. Oh, thank you. Well, in my top 5, Derrick Henry is not number 1. I know, shocking. I'm going to put Dalvin Cook at number 1, Derrick Henry number 2, Alvin Kamara number 3, Nick Chubb number 4, and LaShawn McCoy number 5.
You're kidding.
This is worse than the Phillip Rivers thing.
Rivers.
Phillip Rivers would have been better at running back.
Probably have more yards than him.
Probably.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, number 5. I know he missed a couple games, but he had a really good rookie season. Had a lot of good running backs this year. But
Edwards-Helaire is a good running back, just not on paper. Stats, right. It doesn't show up, but in the game,
yeah. I mean, I
don't know about top 5. But
Darrell Williams.
It was either him or Kareem Hunt.
Darrell Williams kind of took his carries this week, so
yeah.
Oh yeah, he plays for us too. All right, I'm changing mine. I'm taking Edwards out, and I'm putting in Darrell Williams.
Wow.
I think you had more playoff yards than you had season yards.
All right, so I'm not switching again.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Here we go. Yards for your man LaShawn McCoy. Let's see here. We got. Where was it at? Hold on. 31 yards. 31 yards on 10 attempts. There you go. I think he's number 3.
MVP on the season. Come on, guys. Come
on. I'm not really set on order. I think I'll probably go with some of those that Marvin had. I'll probably go Cook at number 1, Henry at number 2. And the fact that, like Tony said, I'm just not completely impressed with Henry, and the fact that he doesn't come through in big games. I think that's his one downfall for me. The dude's insane. He's dangerous. I've said it before. You hand him the ball, he runs, he takes off, he's gone. And he's, really, really fun to watch. But just that part of it is the downfall for me, for him personally. But then at 3, I'd probably go Kamara. Like I said, just how versatile he is. Then Chubb, even splitting playing time with Kareem Hunt, still doing really good. And then, Aaron Jones there at the 5 spot, really coming through with the Packers.
Can I change mine again?
No,
No.
you're not changing yours again. Not again.
I forgot he's playing.
I would just like to talk a little bit about Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry is the only running back in the league where he is the offense. The offense for the Titans is Derrick Henry, and if we can run enough with Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill can throw, right? No one else can say that in the league. So what are defenses going to focus on? There's only one thing to focus on with the Titans. That's Derrick Henry. So, yeah, he doesn't get that big production against the good run-stopping defenses, but that's because you can put 9 people in the box, 8 people in the box to stop Derrick Henry, and the Titans aren't going to do anything about it, right?
Yeah. No, that's fair. No, that's why I don't really like to criticize him on that, but it's just tough when, like I said, when they need to win games, when it's playoff games or whatever. So I completely understand, like, people calling him the best. That's what I said personally. It's not even like that big of a thing for me. I still put him at number 2. I still think he's one of the best running backs. And then on to wide receivers. Wide receivers are tough, I think, to pick personally because the league's full of really good ones. Drew, go ahead and start us off. Who do you have?
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel like I'm leaving someone off. I'm going to start up at 5. I'm going to give Justin Jefferson some love. I think he might actually be the offensive rookie of the year. This man has broken every receiving record imaginable, right? The Vikings replaced Diggs with someone who's putting up similar production. It's been a beautiful thing for Justin Jefferson. And then at 4, I've got Stephon Diggs. He had an insane year. Obviously, he helped elevate Josh Allen to a top 5 quarterback. Number 3, I still got DeAndre Hopkins, even though he didn't make the playoffs. One of the best receivers in the game. He can make a play anytime you need it. Number 2, I got Devontae Adams. This dude's insane, even though he had a tough game against the Bucs. I mean, he's one of the best in the league still. And at number 1, I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is so twitchy. He's so hard to stop. I mean, there's no guarding the man unless you triple team him. If you're taking 3 people out, how is Mahomes not going to burn you, right? He's unstoppable. He looks like – I mean, he's faster than most people without pads in pads. There's just no slowing him down. And as fast as Hardman is, he doesn't compare to what Tyreek Hill can do.
Yeah, even triple coverage. Mm-hmm. Like, he still might catch it. Like, yeah, no, that's a good pick. I like that one. Marvin?
Well, Drew took a lot of mine, but I'll rearrange it, I guess, to not make it obvious. Number 5, I'll say Devontae Adams. Number 4, I'll say DeAndre Hopkins. Number 3, I'll say DJ Metcalf. Right, that's his name. Yeah, let's go with
DK.
That. Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, I meant that. DK. I'll have to add that out later. Number 4 or number 2. My next one is what's his name? Mike Evans. I think he's all right, I guess. I don't know. I want to put Chris Godwin, but I feel like if it's him or if it's Mike Evans, I'm gonna get some ugly faces. So
wait, who were your 5? You said.
But you still got one more.
Yeah.
One more. And my top one is Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Mike Evans, though, I don't know if he really deserves to be there. I just put him there because I thought he was lonely. He needed to be with his friends.
I love your lists and the fact that, like, there's always one that just doesn't make sense.
No one likes Mike Evans. I thought y'all would like that one. I thought I finally had a list that I would get.
I think he's good. I think
not.
I think a lot of times he's underrated. But I don't know if he's top 5.
He's the first receiver ever to have 1,000 yards in his first 5 seasons. I think he's top 10, but
yeah, I'd say top 10. That's what it's.
Who should I put? Diggs?
Yeah.
I mean, anybody.
That was my original pick. All right. You know what?
Well, I do have Evans top 5. I have Evans at number 5. So, yeah. Number 4, Stephon Diggs. Number 3, Justin Jefferson. Again, as Drew was stating, great year. Number 2, man, I was going through this. I switched it up. I had number 2, Tyreek Hill, but I can't say number 2. I got to say number 2 is Devontae Adams, and then number 1, Tyreek Hill. Again, I agree everything what Drew said about Tyreek Hill. Payne's, Bronco fan, saying this about Kansas City Chiefs. And,
It's awesome. Time to convert to it.
Yeah. No. I would convert to be a Buccaneer fan, Tom Brady.
You already have.
You don't have Hopkins?
I don't have Hopkins up there.
Interesting.
Shame.
Evans or Hopkins, I could put him at number 5.
You put
Yeah.
Mike Evans
But I
over
put Evans.
DeAndre Hopkins. Even
Yes.
I think that's a bad move.
Well, who's in the Super Bowl?
Tyreek Hill.
There Yes, mine at 5 got Metcalf. Offensive, he's insane. Like we said earlier, defensive, he's insane. Did insanely fast. I'm gonna switch it up from what I have. You mentioned Jefferson. I'm putting him at number 4 as a rookie. Did insane. 3, I'm going Juju Smith. No, I'm kidding. No. 3, I'll go Hopkins. I think dude's been underrated for years. Finally getting the recognition he deserves, especially on that Hail Mary. But yeah, I'll go Hopkins there. I go Hill at number 2 because I have Adams at number 1. I think those could be changed either way. Just Adams against Ramsey in that game really pushed him up for me. But I mean, there's so much that Hill can do too. So I mean, that one's really tough for me. But yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster is not on my list. And neither is Chase Claypool. But
I just want to think about Tony's logic for a second here. He said Mike Evans is in the Super Bowl. That's why he's top 5. Now Marvin's list doesn't look so bad with Darrell Williams, I guess.
it's a top 5 running back in that case.
No. One wide receiver doesn't determine a success, but one quarterback does.
Oh, here we go.
It's debatable.
This is coming from the guy who has quarterback that you despise. You don't even like your quarterback.
What?
I don't know. I lost my train of thought in mid-sentence.
I noticed. No, some really good players though. A lot of these like young guys too. I mean, ones like Mahomes, Allen, Watson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, running back, top 5 up there.
I just want to say one more thing. If we were picking receivers and not wide receivers, I would have Kelsey at 1. I think I would put him above any wide receiver in the league right now. He's that good.
Yeah, I mean, he showed it because what didn't he lead? Did he end up leading in receiving yards?
I think he was second behind Diggs.
And it was close, like 100-something yards too.
Yeah.
And he didn't play in that last game either.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And then Hill been up there they're pretty close for receiving touchdowns too. But I'm excited about the future of the NFL. I mean, like we talked about, the older guys are retiring, the guys who grew up watching retiring, not being around anymore. But seeing these young guys come up, I'm really excited for that. Seeing the guys like Justin Herbert, or these young quarterbacks, young wide receivers. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch Sam Darnold lead the Jets to a Super Bowl. It's just going to be so epic.
Right. Don't you mean Watson?
Oh, that's right. I meant Sean Watson.
After posting that on Facebook saying the NFL came out and said that Watson.
Funny thing is, though, after I posted that, rumors are circulating that could actually be true. So I may not have liked it.
No, I think it was before you posted. Rumors are circulating, or at least Richard Sherman said that
They
Watson.
heated up after I posted,
go.
so you're welcome, people.
Yeah,
It's
because
of me,
Richard Sherman,
you
Richard Sherman said that Watson should go to the Jets,
know.
and that would be a good move for his career. And that's when I realized that Richard Sherman just hates Watson. Yeah.
My joke might be true. Just saying. Just saying.
That might be interesting. Watson to Bears. So.
Probably
Or to
won't.
Denver. I'm fine with Denver as well.
I want Watson to Miami, but
Oh, yeah.
no one ever listens to me.
That's gonna be the best trade package. Pick 3, Tua, and maybe another first. It's gonna be the best package they're gonna get, probably.
I will say I will trade Von Miller for Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
You're dumb. You're really
It's
dumb.
not dumb.
I,
It's not dumb. Von
I
Miller,
It's very dumb.
he's got what? 7 years maybe? How old is he? And is with
He's been
the
playing since
investigation. Huh?
playing since 2011. Not that old.
Yeah, so it's 10 years.
Yeah.
It's got to be at least 30.
You let him go. Or
I'd let him go for Watson. Yes.
I hate that. I hate that Watson has to leave Houston. Or he doesn't really have to, but I mean, he kind of does at the same time. Just because, I think Watt deserves a lot of success too, and I don't think he really will in his career unless he leaves too. But I think they both deserve, to do good, to be in the playoffs. But it's just not looking like it's going to happen for a while for Houston.
Mm-hmm. And what's interesting about that is Watson has not demanded a trade yet. He's not requested a trade yet. They still don't have a head coach. He said he wanted either Bieniemy or Robert Saleh to be his coach. I think if they sign Bieniemy, he may end up trying to stay. If they sign anyone else, he'll probably request that trade.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes going into the offseason. All right, unless you guys have anything else to wrap it up.
I did have one more thing.
Oh.
I didn't know if you want to talk about this week or next week, but where do you think some players are going? Top 3 I'm thinking are J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson, and Matthew Stafford.
You think Watt's going to leave?
If Watson leaves, Watt's definitely out of it.
Yeah. The Chiefs.
That's what I want, but I'm not really seeing it. But
Denver would be nice.
You just want
Von
everybody.
Miller.
You just said you're getting rid of
You're going to trade him.
We'll take Stafford.
You can't have everybody.
Well, you do. So
That's
the Broncos now have a chance.
I forgot what Stafford is officially parting ways with the Lions. I don't really know what the Lions will do. Yeah, besides lose. Because I don't really know what they need. I don't think Stafford is really the problem. At least not totally. But I also don't know what Stafford's going to do because I don't think he's, that great, at least not anymore.
Let me put this rumor out there, okay? How about Stafford to the Patriots? I think he will turn it around. He's played very well, just through a lot of injuries has been his problem. He doesn't have very many complementary pieces either. He's got Galladay, and that's about it. If he goes with Bill Belichick, that could be a very interesting. That could be very interesting.
I think he could fit into that team there better than Cam did. Because Cam's kind of like a Lamar Jackson, like a mobile quarterback, a lot of running. That wasn't New England. That's not Tom Brady. And so, that didn't really mesh that well. It didn't seem like. So Stafford to New England, I'd be okay with that.
I think that'd be an interesting pick, but I feel like he's going to the Colts. The Colts are just missing a quarterback.
Ooh, that would be really good too.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a good fit there.
I think
Colts
that's where he's going to end up. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think he'll find more success in Indianapolis than he will in New England, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Colts have better pieces.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Watson will end up with either the Dolphins or the Jets, but I'm hoping Dolphins. I hope he ends up there.
I think it'll be Miami.
You know, it seems like it'd be a better trade package, like you said. And as for Watt, I think I want him in Kansas City, but I don't see it. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling he's probably wrong because he usually is. But JJ Watt in Green Bay, I don't know why. I feel like that could happen. It could work. What do you think?
That'd be pretty good. I'd definitely help out that defense. I don't know that. I think if they, because Bieniemy needs to go somewhere. I mean, I still want him on the Chiefs, obviously, but like even Alex Smith was saying, it's insane that he hasn't gotten hired yet. And I'm wondering if it's because like being in the playoffs and everything and going to the Super Bowl, like that's why nothing big is like came out yet that he's been hired somewhere, but still.
He's still doing interviews though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like nothing's official yet.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's why the Texans still have a job open, is because the rest of the league knew that he was going to the Texans and they were just holding out. Texans, though, have looked at it. It's pretty much down to Leslie Frazier, the Bills' defensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, Chiefs' offensive coordinator. Eric Bieniemy owned the matchup. I don't know why the job's not his.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless, like I said, they're kind of waiting until after Super Bowl to make anything like completely official.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also heard that he wants to go to the right situation, and Houston, we're not exactly the right situation right now.
I think if they offer him a job, he'll take it.
I think they have promise there, like we talked about with Watt.
If Watson stays.
Yeah, but I think he will stay if Bieniemy goes there.
I saw that regardless who the coach is, Watson still wants out, but I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah. Right, Tony? Okay.
Thumbs up from Tony. That none of the listeners could see. that did not help it at all.
Yeah. I got nothing else.
Nothing else this time? Anybody? No, once, twice. All right. So to wrap it up, coming up in some of the sports over the next week, mainly NFL, Pro Bowl. This week, from what I've heard, is going to be on Madden this year since, they don't want players playing on the field. That's they did all season. I don't know. Anyways, a different.
It is a pointless game, though.
I mean, it could be the most interesting Pro Bowl. I guess we'll see, because the Pro Bowl, they've talked about for a while not having it anymore. They started making it interesting, I think, with the different stuff like dodgeball or different stuff like that before, leading up to it. But yeah, we'll see how this year's goes. Thank you to Marvin, Drew, and Tony for your comments. Thank you to the fans for supporting and listening. You can listen to the full-length podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and most streaming apps. And you can also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. This has been another KC Sports Memes podcast.